Hey guys, what is up? I am Devil Driven. Happy New Year. First, before I start the video, I just wanted to give a quick thank you to all the people over at CDPR. They sent me a Christmas card. Pavel Berja signed it, which is awesome. Alicia from Discord, Rep Key, and also Kevin. He's the community manager for the Gwent France team. So they sent me a card for Christmas. That's really cool to get a Christmas card from a big company like that. And then they sent me a lanyard and a set. Like, I've seen people have the one-ofs of like the pins or whatever, but they sent me the whole set, which is awesome. Which way do I go? This way. But amazing Christmas gift. My girlfriend was kind of mad because I got more excited about this gift than I did her gifts. So once again, you guys are amazing. Thank you. But today's video, you might have seen these before if you're a sports fan. It's the Mount Rushmore, your top 4 best quarterbacks, running backs, point guards, whatever. These guys go on your Mount Rushmore. These are your top 4. No one can mess with them. They're your favorites. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to do my Mount Rushmore for Gwent leaders over the course of the entire span of Gwent. Up until today. Today we got our new leader, to where they're balanced over the rations or the provisions or whatever. So up till today. Because the abilities I don't believe changed at all, so it's just a matter of balancing through the provision system. So, but these are my leaders that I've had the most fun with, that I think people have just always been able to do really well with, or just really frustrate their opponent. So the first one, of course, picking 4 is kind of tough. But for number 4, I picked Henselt. Henselt, he's always been really great. Back in closed beta, you were able to make copies of your machines or your Redani, or no, they were Kedwinnies. Copies of your Kedwinnies, and you could just bring them all out. So you can make a whole, like 8 of them. You could bring them out in one time with operator and other things you could do with them. He's just always, and when he was in way back in the day when he was in closed beta, he was able to make a whole row gold, and you could watch King Blacktooth videos on it. He's just, you were able, there was no row limit, so you could make the whole row gold, and the scores would be through the roof. And back then gold was immune, so you were able to make this 2,000 point row of gold that no one could touch. So it was pretty stupid. Currently, right now, I think he's a pretty decent leader. I mean, he could pull 2 pretty big units out, or thin your deck a little bit. Thinning is always important. So yeah, I think Henselt's a good pick for the Abe Lincoln of Mount Rushmore. Even though he's burning some chick in the background, I don't think Abe would approve of that. But yeah, Henselt's my first pick on my Mount Rushmore. I think he's a pretty great leader. Next up, I have King Bran. King Bran's always, back in when he first came out, he was pretty bad. He was almost laughable how bad he was. Then they started tweaking with him. He was mostly just used with Queen's Guards, and then Queen's Guards got really bad. They're okay right now, but they used to be really fun. I always loved playing Queen's Guards, especially with Camby. But being able to discard cards, especially cards that you could pull back out of your graveyard with Scoia'tael, I think it's always been a huge deal for Scoia'tael. For a while there was like that Axeman, great swords. have been another one. But to me, Bran has always been just the epitome of consistency. He's always been pretty good. Right now, I think he's one of the best leaders, period. The way the discard works, but that's just me. You know, I've always been partial to Bran, so he's my Teddy Roosevelt pick there. Really cool leader. I think he's always, ever since they changed him from when he was like really, really bad. I forget what his original ability was. It was so long ago, but I just know it was so bad that I wanted to put it out of my mind. But yeah, that's who I picked for my third one. Next up, everybody's menace right now. Well, it used to be, then they changed her. Ethne. Ethne has always been able to really just wreck people with being able to pull the Scorches back in the day. She just being able to replay Scorch, or when it was Hailstorm, Marigold's Hailstorm, that was pretty ridiculous when you could still hit gold units. It still hit gold units. And then once Homecoming was released, she was just an absolute everywhere. She was just everywhere you went. It was Ethne and Shiru, and everything just got scorched. It was pretty bad. Her being able to use 3 charges per round, I believe it was. It was pretty stupid. Currently, right now, she's not that great, but her other versions of herself have always, I think, been just really great. You could make a case for Hoog when he had the spy abuse. Spy abuse was pretty huge, especially too when it involved the shoot deck. I mean, people were bringing the shoot deck to Challenger and stuff. So with something like that, you know, it's just always been, to me, it's always been there. And when great swords were around, people would bring Ethne and it would instantly get banned because they knew that if I play great swords, Ethne is going to wreck me. That's just going to happen. I'm going to build this, you know, 60 strength great sword, and Ethne's just going to nuke it, no problem. So I just think she's always been a great leader. One of my favorite premium arts of all time. But yeah, Ethne is my number 2. So who could be number 1? I went with Yan Calvé. Calvé to me has always been just super consistent. Even way back in the day when he was first released, he had an ability where he was able to pull all the spies back to his side of the board. And I want to say it was PPD brought it to Challenger, and everybody was like making fun of him. And I want to say he beat somebody with that deck. That ability was, when I first seen it, I thought it was going to be crazy, man. Being able to pull just all those emissaries and, you know, Cantarella and everything back to your side of the board. It was just like, and you were able to make more spies then too with Operator and all kinds of other stuff. So that version of it I thought was really cool. There was a reason why they got rid of it. Like, everybody said, nah, it's not that good, but they got rid of it. So that'll tell you that, you know, it was pretty nuts. One day that ability might come back now that we got row limits and stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if that might be General Atvar's ability when he's released for Thronebreaker. But at one time, though, he was the reveal leader. Then they switched him and... Morvaran. They switched. Morvaran used to do the pick 3, and Calvé was the reveal. So he went from spies to reveal to what he is now, and he can pick one of 3 cards. I think it's the top 3, but that ability has just always been crazy good. Even, you know, even with certain abilities, it's just always been just a huge ability. It was once there was a point where you were able to play it with who was it, to buff them up and then pull them back into your deck or whatever, or replay them with Kahir. It was just it's just been so good. It's always been just great. I think he's even right now. I think he's really good. Just Nilfgaard right now has just got a little bit of weird stuff going on, but I still think he's an amazing leader. Yeah, that's my leader Mount Rushmore. Let me know what you guys think. I'm curious to see who's on your Mount Rushmore, who I left off, who you would put, you know, on it. Let me know in the comments. But like always, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys